NBA Finals practice day number 5 here in Oklahoma City at the Paycom Center. What did Pacers and Thunder players say about the series, where it's headed, injury updates on lots of guys, referee talk from Rick Carlisle, and so much more that you'll get today from me, Pacers players and Thunder players, on a bonus Locked On Pacers podcast.
You are Locked On Pacers, your daily Indiana Pacers podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
What's up, everybody? Happy Sunday/Monday, and welcome into another edition of the Locked On Pacers podcast, where we, of course, talk about the Indiana Pacers. As always, my name's Tony East. I cover the team for Forbes, and today, it's Sunday for me. It might be Monday for you. I'm at the finals for Game 5 in Oklahoma City. The Pacers are practicing right now. We just wrapped up our 5th media day of the series. Quite hectic how all this is going on. And there's a lot to discuss about what was said today, what I did hear and didn't hear. And you'll hear, of course, as you have on all these throughout the finals, from the players themselves. Quite the day. Lots to get to. I mean, I was personally curious about something that you'll hear a lot of today, which is the Pacers' mental response. So much has, and rightly, by the way, been made about the Pacers' ability to respond. The last time they lost back-to-back games was March 5th, I believe, was the first of those 2 losses. It's been over 3 months. The Thunder are similar in that they haven't lost back-to-back games in months, all season. I don't think at home they have it all. I think maybe once all year they did. Right? Both of these teams have, between something innate and something about their coaching staffs, been very good at that part of this. That bodes well for the Pacers in some ways, but you never know when that magic can wear off. And this is the most extreme version of that reality for the Pacers. This is a crushing, heartbreaking NBA Finals loss against a great team, right? How do you get off the mat from that? What comes now? That's something I was asking a lot of players on both teams about, is the response ability, which sounds like a different word. That's 2 words. The ability to respond for both these groups, where does that come from, and who is really igniting that charge on both sides? And for the Pacers, what makes them feel like they can do it again when this is, again, the most drastic scenario possible for that, even though they have earned the benefit of the doubt that they can keep doing this, right? They keep winning regardless of home or road, regardless of opponent, back-to-back games all throughout this postseason and the regular season. They'll have another chance to do it tomorrow in Game 5, and lots of other stuff came up today. How quickly the Pacers recovered mentally from a crushing, like career, worst of your career kind of feeling loss. When they bounced back from that, what they felt like they did wrong at the end of Game 4. They're never going to tip tons of strategy, if any, in these media settings, but you get a lot of, little detail, little breadcrumb things here and there. If you ask enough players, and you hear a lot of the word little things, which you'll hear from all of them. And of course, talking to Thunder players, you get a lot from their perspective, too, about what they feel like they can do to eventually, if they want to win the series, because they're going to have to beat the Pacers twice in a row to do it, right? And that hasn't happened to the Pacers in 3 months. Lots of things came up today that I find noteworthy. One is Rick Carlisle. He's not in this video. I was not a part of his media session. I was out on the court talking to a couple of the players. I should have probably joined it today because I did have another question for him, but he talked about a couple things that I want to talk about. One is Jarace Walker. Jarace Walker, he is here. He is off crutches. I tweeted before Game 3 or 4, I can't remember, that I saw him walking without crutches. So he has been off crutches for about a couple days now. Certainly, he is not walking without a limp. I saw that, and Rick Carlisle said as much today, that he is still limping while walking around, and he is unlikely, was the term he used, to play in the NBA Finals. Look, I've seen nasty ankle injuries. If you're on crutches, you're not returning in 2 weeks. I'm not going to be the one to rule Jarace Walker out for the finals. I would say that I would be absolutely stunned if he played in a game in this series, and this could be one that he helps. That we've seen Toppin and Siakam have nice series. That forward-sized guy against this OKC team who basically has Kenrich Williams, and that's it, of that size in the series, would be very helpful, but they do not have him for this one. Rick Carlisle was also asked about the officiating, and he went on a big, long defense of Scott Foster. Right, I'll just read the whole quote, too, because, again, you're not going to be able to hear it in this video. But his full quote was, as far as officiating, I think it's awful some of the things I've seen about officiating and Scott Foster in particular. I've known Scott Foster for 30 years. He's a great official. He has done a great job in these playoffs. We've had him a lot of times. The ridiculous scrutiny that is being thrown out there is terrible and unfair and unjust and stupid. End quote. The Pacers feel like they lost that game themselves, that fourth quarter, and the end of that fourth quarter in particular, as bad as it gets. and now they have to respond. You'll hear from them about how they can do so in this game. You'll hear from Thunder players about the state of the series, Chet Holmgren about his ankle injury. Full disclosure, bad day from Tony East. I did not ask questions the way I wanted today, so when you hear my voice, just know, yes, I'm aware that I did a bad job, but you still get to hear from everybody. Let's get to the interviews. Before we do so, though, let me first tell you guys, Monarch Money. Ever check your bank account and wonder, where did all my money go? Between dining out, online shopping, and entertainment, it can be easy to lose track. That's where Monarch Money comes in. It's your personal CFO giving you full visibility and control over your finances. It's not just a budgeting app. It's a complete financial command center. You can track all your accounts, investments, and spending in one place, so you stop just managing your money and instead start building wealth. Many people use Monarch Money and love the surprising insights. They can see how much they're spending on things like food delivery. Now they budget smarter and they save more. So instead of juggling multiple apps, you can use Monarch to check your finances, track your spending, and even plan long-term goals. It's easy to collaborate with someone else, so your partner and yourself can manage things smoother than ever, track shared and personal accounts, set goals, stay on the same page with no stress. Take control of your finances with Monarch Money. Use code LOCKEDONNBA at monarchmoney.com for 50% off your first year. That's monarchmoney.com, code LOCKEDONNBA for half off of your first year. Back here on Locked On Pacers. Thanks for making me your first listen today and every single day. Another episode coming with Dave Searle tonight/tomorrow, previewing Game 5, looking back at Game 4. But now, let's hear from Pacers players and Thunder players on the state of the NBA Finals. Myles, with the data, digest it. How do you guys respond, and how do you feel emotionally about giving away that chance but still having more coming?
Emotionally, I have to look past it. This game, this is what the finals is about. It's about response. Can't dwell on it too much. Task ahead, and it's all the little things. I think we did enough, offensively, to win that game. Now it's about making our minor adjustments to move forward.
Shep said little things too, and I asked him about those last 4 minutes. Did you notice anything specific that you look back like we needed to do this or that better to close that one out?
Let's continue to keep playing fast, continue playing with pace. It's how we play. It's how we made our mark. So it's just not coming off our principles.
Have you recovered? How are you feeling now compared to how you felt?
All right, man. It's no excuse this time of the year. It is what it is. People get sick all the time. You can't stop the train from rolling, so just take what it is, take my medicine, and get rolling.
What do you think is the pressure right now? This team has more pressure right now against you.
I don't like to look at it that way. I think it's just which team has more pressure. We're both feeling the pressure. We both had to go out there and perform, so it's just a matter of going out there and just making the most of the moment.
Do you think this Game 5 is similar than Game 1? They play at home. You win, you can.
It's 0-0. Yeah, you say that. It's 0-0 again, and then it's anybody's series.
How important is momentum in this part of the series?
It's huge. Getting a big one on the road, coming back home in front of our people is great. It's the position you want to be in right now in this series. So, just got to go out there and use all that momentum to keep going.
Lou, I wanted to get your thoughts on as a team, you guys only hit three threes, but we're still able to get a huge win away from home. What could you guys do to maybe generate more looks?
I would say just moving the ball a little bit better. And on that too, we just had to find a way to win. Even if the shots went falling like that and then we couldn't generate the best shot we could get, it's fine. But we just trying to find a way to win, which we did last game. But, watching the film, maybe we have to move the ball a little bit and find better shots.
Thank you. Is there a different mindset from Game 1 to Game 5 as you return back home?
The mindset is still the same. We got to go out there, compete at a high level and give our best shot to win. But the approach is always the same.
Lou, the best players at defending Tyrese Haliburton throughout time have either had good foot speed or strength. You seem to have both. What do you feel like you've done so well against him throughout this series?
I'm trying my best to stay in front of him. He can do a lot. He generated a lot of stuff for them. So my main thing is to stay in front of him and make everything tough.
You guys have this paint defense that you could never give up points to paint. It's your thing, but he wants to get in there all the time. Do you take that as yourself thing? Do you feel like that's a team thing? Why do you feel like you guys have been so successful at keeping him away from where he wants to go so bad?
I would say it's more of a team effort for sure on that end. We got so many guys that can do a great job on that end of the floor. So it's just the trust that we have, defensively. But every time somebody can step up and make a play, they will.
Bring our own energy and fight for the game.
Is there anything else that you guys have taken away from that fourth quarter in Game 4 that you guys can maybe apply now for Game 5?
Yeah.
that's it, though.
How do you get up off the mat after one like that? I mean, I know you guys have responded to losses every time since March, but that's one on this stage as tough as it gets.
Yeah, I mean, we're a resilient group. We'll be ready to go tomorrow. You know, we take our lumps, we learn from them, and, you know, we'll be better.
For lack of a better term, how long did you feel like collectively you felt sulking versus, all right, let's go, we got another one in 2 days?
Rest of the night, you know, you watch the game back, you realize what you could do better, what you would do differently, and you know, you just got to live without regret. So we're going to learn from those mistakes.
Myles and Shep called it little things in that late fourth quarter stretch. What did you see the same thing? How did film kind of reveal you guys?
Little things, getting stops, rebounds, fouls, all the controllables.
Well, as a player, do you feel that the coach against you has this championship experience?
I mean, Rick's a great coach. I mean, I think in general, I think we as a team have a lot of respect for him. He's done a great job with the Pacers. He did a great job in the past. But, I mean, also on our side, I think we have one of the best coaches in the league. So we're always confident going into each game that no matter what happens, we're good.
To that end, what makes Mark so good at making you guys a response team? You guys haven't lost back-to-back games in forever. Neither of these teams have. What role does coaching play in that?
I think just the approach. I think he does a good job just putting everything in perspective. It's a combination of things. I think we also have players that always respond, but again, it starts with Mark. I think he does an amazing job just connecting with us, not really wasting time. Anytime he says something, you listen.
How would you say you guys have digested the last hour since that game? A tough ending like that, but you guys have gotten off the mat every single time you've been hit like this in the playoffs.
Yeah, it definitely hurt. Just seeing how that game went, I thought we played a good game, but they ended up coming up with a win. But just collectively as a group, we're excited for the next game and just coming together and figuring out what we did wrong.
How quickly did you feel like you noticed you guys turning to having that attitude after, you have to sulk for a little bit after a game like that, but how quickly did you notice a switch?
We can't hang our heads too much, but I just saw a look at the eyes of our group in the locker room after that game, and we're all just hopeful and excited to get back out there tomorrow and show everyone what we can do.
Did you guys do any film already?
We did.
What did you make of the last, you weren't in the game, but the last 4 minutes of what you guys needed to do a little better in those moments?
It was just little mistakes, I feel like, that are definitely, that we can definitely do better. But, yeah, there's just little things that we got to work on.
Mark called that game a blood and guts win the other night, and he said that, even though you guys did a great job in the fourth quarter, there's still a lot that you guys could learn from that game, considering you were playing uphill for the majority of the night. What were some of the takeaways that you guys were able to talk about from that game?
Just pretty much, we know we can win, playing bad. I feel like, this whole series, we haven't even played our best, to be honest with you. And game 4, you seen that, we were able to kind of make some plays down the stretch and get some stops and get a couple baskets. And, the whole game, like you said, we were fighting uphill and just kind of wheeled our way to a win. So I feel like we put it all together. We can win more games.
Both of these teams haven't lost consecutive games in forever. You guys all season at home, I believe. What is it about you guys or your coaches or whatever that makes that a possibility, whether that's adjustments or something innate about you?
Yeah, just pretty much being able to get back to zero mentality, knowing that, each game is a new game. And that's whether it's a win, or a loss. Just being able to get back to zero, knowing that, hey, we can be beat tonight or we can win this game tonight. So just knowing that, and yeah, man, pretty much the coaches do a good job of giving us a good game plan, and we just execute it.
You said you hadn't played your best yet in the series. What is Indiana doing to take that away from you?
Honestly, they're a good team. So we're not going to play perfect. And when I say that, I mean more of like ourselves. I'm not talking about the Pacers in a way. I'm more talking about ourselves, like shooting the ball well, defending how we usually defend. And it's all, it's all on us, to be honest. So it's more like inward with the team. So, just being able to gear up for game 5 and get ready, and I feel like we're going to go out and execute at a high level.
Over again, now that each of you has gotten a road game, and now it's a best of 3 with you guys having one less home game than them?
Yeah, we're going into game 5, 2-2. Like you said, it's 0-0 right now to us. So first the 2 wins, and yeah, we just gonna look back at our mistakes from the last games to get better.
Myles said it was a lot of the little things in the fourth quarter that got you guys. What were those corrections like, and how quickly did you guys turn the page?
I ain't gonna give out all the stuff, but we definitely had to correct the things that we've done in that past game in game 4 in the fourth quarter. Wasn't playing the same. But like I said, we watched film on it and we know what we got to fix.
What was that feeling like in the fourth quarter when every possession feels like it's magnified and you try not to make a mistake?
You try not to make a mistake the whole game, but the fourth quarter especially, just because it's crunch time. It's when you want to play your best basketball. So yeah, we slowed down a little bit. We didn't play how we usually play, but we'll get better from it and be ready for the next game.
Are you guys mirror images of each other? The way you guys play so hard, play strong defense, and fighting for those rebounds and loose balls?
Yeah, I just feel like it's 2 young teams going out there playing like dogs. We're going out there. A lot of us haven't been in the finals, so this is the first finals for most of us, and we're just going out there and playing our hearts out, trying to get a win for the team. So.
Obi, you mentioned that slowdown. Every time you come in, you guys' pace hits the level you guys want. Is that just you being fast and athletic? What about you specifically in this series has made that pace click?
I feel like it's no surprise what I do. I just try to come in every game and bring a lot of energy. Exciting dunks, defensive stops, blocks. Whatever I can do to bring energy into the game, I try to do. But it's not only me. We got a bunch of guys on our team, and TJ, Ben Sheppard, Ben Mathurin, both of them. Like, all of us come into the game and we know what we got to do when we come in.
You guys have talked a lot about your ability to respond to losses 3 months without back-to-back, but this is like the most extreme version of that with how hard that one was, and it's the finals. What will it take to do that again?
Just do what we've been doing all season, being resilient and learning from our mistakes and getting better from it. So.
That now being a best of 3 game series, I was just wondering how much of the games now are more like tactical preparation or emotional preparation for you guys?
I'd say it doesn't change from game 1 to game 5. It's kind of a mixture of both. You have to do what you have to do to make sure that you're trying to get the X's and O's right, and then mentally you have to put yourself in the right space to compete and try to make the right plays. So it's a mix of both.
Chet, first up, how's your ankle? After you had a lot of possessions late in that game 4 where they were kind of going at you in ISO and those switches late. What's key to you about staying as who you are and getting those stops?
Really just trying to be in the moment and think what the game needed, and then just try to make a winning play from there. Having kind of faith that even though it's not promised, that you're going to make the right play. If you kind of try and stack up all the right things, then a good outcome will come out of it. And fortunately enough, we were able to do that. My stops were a big part of the end of the game. Shea hit big free throws. We had great execution, great box outs, great rebounds, close possessions. So it's kind of a little bit of everything.
Film and seeing how everything kind of unfolded there late. It's just kind of unfortunate.
I was a little tough, obviously.
Coach is down in the room, though. We're going to start the 30-minute.
Coach game, thought we could have won it, but adjustments to be made and things to get better at, and hopefully ahead of us tomorrow.
How good a job you were doing on SGA, getting switched off in the times. How frustrating was that for you, just individually?
I'm not frustrated because I'm not looking at it as a personal matchup or a vendetta in any way. It's about our team and getting it done. So I think we're going to look and do better in the future.
Drew, how long do you feel like it took you personally to move on from that one and get to looking ahead?
I think it took me till the morning. We were grouped as a team, got together, talked about some things, and you gotta have a quick memory amnesia with these type of things. It's big game. You know, a lot of emotion goes into it. So I'm gonna try to flip the switch the next day.
You guys' ability to respond, we've asked you about a million times. Do you feel like that's a Rick thing, an Nate thing about you guys as players? Why do you haven't lost back-to-back games in 3 months? Where does that come from?
I think the resolve of our whole coaching staff and our team. You know, we have a tight-knit group who, in times when it gets tough, comes closer and refocuses our minds in the right places.
Hope you guys enjoyed that and hearing from the many people that spoke today at NBA Finals Practice Media Day number 5. Again, back tomorrow with Dave Searle, talking finals, talking Game 4 into Game 5 of this series, the biggest game in Pacers franchise history coming up. See you guys very soon.